Well, that's full time at Eden Park, and the All Blacks have absolutely dismantled Ireland, winning 40 points to 21. Going into this game, everyone was talking about whether Ireland could finally end New Zealand's incredible unbeaten run at Eden Park. Instead, what we got was probably the best performance we've seen from this All Blacks side under Dave Rennie. Now, don't let the final score fool you. Yes, Ireland managed to score 21 points, but this game honestly wasn't as close as the scoreboard suggests. For long periods, New Zealand completely controlled the contest. They dominated possession, won the collision, played the real tempo, and every time Ireland looked like they might build some momentum, the All Blacks had an answer. What impressed me most wasn't even the number of points they scored. It was the way they scored them. It wasn't a sideline relying on individual brilliance to bail them out. They looked connected. Every player knew their role, the forwards were laying an incredible platform, and the backs finally looked like they were playing with confidence and freedom. For me, this was the first time under Dave Rennie where this team genuinely looked like they were starting to build an identity. Right from the opening whistle, you could see the intent. There was no conservative game plan and no sitting back waiting to see what Ireland were going to bring. The All Blacks wanted to play fast. They wanted quick ruck ball, they wanted to move Ireland around the park, and they wanted to make the Irish defence work from the very first minute. One player who deserves a huge amount of credit is Cam Roigard. Every single week, he just seems to get better in the black jersey. His service around the breakdown was lightning quick. His decision making was excellent, and he constantly kept Ireland guessing. Whenever there was an opportunity to speed the game up, he took it. Whenever the forwards needed to settle things down, he recognised it immediately. He's quickly becoming the heartbeat of this attack. Alongside him, Ruben Love continues to impress me. There's so much composure in his game for someone still establishing himself at test level. He isn't trying to force miracle passes or overplay his hand. Instead, he's taking the right options, putting teammates into space, kicking intelligently, and allowing the players to move around him to shine. That's exactly what you want from your first five, and tonight he controlled the game beautifully. It didn't take long for New Zealand's pressure to finally pay off. Patrick Tuipulotu crashed over for his opening try after the All Blacks spent several minutes building pressure inside the Irish 22. What I loved about that moment wasn't just the finish, it was the patience. We've seen New Zealand in recent years become guilty of trying to score off every phase, forcing passes that simply weren't there. Tonight was different. They were happy to earn the right attack, and eventually Ireland just couldn't hold them out. That opening try seemed to give everyone some more confidence because from that point onwards, the All Blacks started playing some outstanding rugby. Then came one of the moments of the game. Ardie Savea picked up the ball from the back of the scrum, spotted the smallest of gaps, and exploded straight through the Irish defence. Before anyone had time to react, he was over the try line. That's what makes Ardie so special. He sees opportunities before anyone else on the field does, and when he gets into open space, there aren't many players in world rugby capable of stopping him. By this stage, Ireland were already struggling to keep up with the pace of the game. Their defensive line was constantly being stretched. New Zealand were winning the gain line, and the speed of the ball at the breakdown meant Ireland simply couldn't get themselves organised. It honestly felt like every time the All Blacks touched the ball, they looked capable of creating something. Another player who really caught my eye was Josh Morby. Making his first test start against Ireland at Eden Park isn't exactly an easy assignment, but he looked like he'd been playing international rugby for years. He was calm under the high ball, worked incredibly hard without possession, and every time he got involved in attack, he looked confident. There were no signs of nerves whatsoever, and performances like that are going to make this squad go even stronger. Then there's Will Jordan. I almost feel like we take him for granted now because he makes everything look so easy. Every time there was a half chance, Jordan somehow found himself in exactly the right position. His support lines are probably the best in world rugby, and Ireland simply couldn't keep track of him all night. Then the game suddenly changed. Luke Jacobson was shown a yellow card, and for a moment I thought this could be the turning point. Playing against Ireland with only 14 men is never easy, and it finally gave the visitors a chance to build some pressure. They worked their way back into the game and eventually crossed for a try, cutting into New Zealand's lead and giving themselves a little bit of belief. But what impressed me more than anything was the response. Previous All Blacks teams over the last few years may have folded under pressure. They may have gone into their shells and allowed Ireland to dictate the match. This team didn't. In fact, they responded in exactly the way championship teams do. Ireland had finally found a little bit of momentum, but instead of letting the game tighten up, the All Blacks immediately turned the pressure straight back onto them. That's what impressed me the most. There was no panic, no frustration, and no loss of confidence. They simply stuck to their game plan and trusted the opportunities that would come. And they did. Ireland made a costly mistake deep inside their own half, and Will Jordan was the first player to react. That's one thing you simply can't coach. His awareness is unbelievable. The moment the ball came loose, he was already moving, scooped it up, and finished like we've seen him do so many times before. It completely knocked the wind out of Ireland and gave New Zealand all the momentum heading into halftime. Then just before the break, the All Blacks landed another huge blow. Samoa powered over for another long period of pressure, giving New Zealand a 28-7 lead at halftime. Honestly, I don't think many people expected that score after the opening 40 minutes. Ireland came into this match as one of the best teams in the world, yet they simply couldn't cope with the speed, physicality, and accuracy of what New Zealand were producing. The thing I loved most was that this wasn't just one or two players carrying the team. Everyone was contributing. The forwards were winning collisions and generating quick ball. The line-out was functioning well, the scrum looked solid, the backs were running with confidence, and every time someone came off the bench, there didn't seem to be any drop in intensity. Now, credit where it's due, Ireland came out after half-time looking like a different side. They knew they had nothing to lose and started throwing a little bit more at the All Blacks. They managed to score early in the second half, and for a brief moment, you wondered whether they could put New Zealand under some genuine pressure. But once again, every time Ireland landed a punch, the All Blacks answered straight back. That, for me, is the biggest difference with this side compared to what we've seen over the last couple of seasons. Damian McKenzie deserved plenty of praise as well. I thought he was one of the better performers in the black jersey for quite some time. He was dangerous every time he chimed into the back line, looked threatening with ball in hand, and timed his support lines brilliantly. His try was the perfect example of simply staying involved in the play. Rather than standing back and watching, he followed the movement, recognised where the space was, and was rewarded for it. The bench also deserves a massive mention. One thing was spoken about a lot over the last few years is the lack of impact from New Zealand replacements. Tonight was completely opposite. Every player who came onto the field seemed to lift the intensity even further. Whether it was Samoa, Caleb Clark, or Anton Lienert-Brown, they all brought fresh energy at exactly the right time. Anton Lienert-Brown's late try summed it up perfectly to seal the 40-21 victory. For me, this is comfortably the best performance we've seen under Dave Rennie so far. The attack looked connected, the defence was physical, the set piece stood up under pressure. Do you think this is the best performance we've seen under Dave Rennie? Which All Blacks impressed you the most? And are the All Blacks officially back as genuine contenders to be the best team in the world? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Ever wanted to create your own rugby highlights channel just like this one? With my course, the YouTube Creator Toolkit, I show you exactly how I do it, from the tools I use to the templates I built. You get everything. Just copy, paste, and start creating. Learn how to grow your channel, keep viewers hooked, and turn views into income. Click the link in the description below to learn more and start your channel today. Now back to the video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe so you don't miss another breakdown just like this. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next time. Peace!